The city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion. Biblical. What it means it's Old Testament in there. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire, brimstone, rivers and seas, boiling. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria.
Well, it's about that time. That's right. It is about that time. You've heard everybody sit there and tell you what their favorite action figures and toys are of 2024. Some people still haven't done their list. They will tonight. Our friends over at the 3POA podcast, who are back up on Instagram, by the way. Yeah, no, that's a true story. 3POA pod. 3POA pod on Instagram. That's where you're going to follow them. But General Vala, General Vala and Laser Pants will be giving us their top 10. And it's like I said last, the top 10, any YouTuber that's giving you a top 10, you just probably should just write them off your list. Well, I mean, not 3POA. I mean, they're a little bit different. It's yeah, that's different. But most all of your toy tubers, is that a thing? What a lame. Imagine in your life if that's what you were known as. I'm a toy tuber, right? Oh my gosh. It's almost like Kid Alt. Hey, I'm a Kid Alt. Oh my gosh. Guess what? Guess what? My generation buys more toys in the bubble aisle blowing on the aisles in the bubble blowing lawnmower than the kids who are actually supposed to be buying them. Ah, absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So don't get it twisted. But this whole toy action figure thing, no, seriously, it has grown, and it is all of the it's all the adults. It is all the adults, and people have their favorite figures. Shout out to Triple D, of course. I see Custom is here, Mud Scuffer as well. A couple of other people joining in to the fray. We are broadcasting on several different platforms. Let's see if we can grab that. Grab that. Several different platforms. We are broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and X, and Instagram. Facebook, YouTube, and X, and Instagram. That is a real radio microphone over my shoulder. We're broadcasting live WDCE 90.1 FM. And on the Live 365 app, search WDCE on the Live 365 app, or go to WDCE.org or WDCE.net, and you'll be able to listen to the show if you're not here locally in the area. I say, well, Sam, I'm not there locally, and I can't listen to the show. Well, you can download the Live 365 app, or go to WDCE.org or .net. You'll be listening to the radio-only segments of the show. There are radio-only segments. We can't play music here on social media. You get flagged, you get banned, Listen, and like I was saying, Laser Pants over at the 3POA podcast, when they went to go and add me, on Instagram, they got an alert saying this account posts misinformation. That is the first time that's ever happened. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't post misinformation. I just post what's interesting. Whether or not they say it's misinformation doesn't mean that I'm sitting there promoting it. I'm just showing you what I find is interesting. I root for interesting, ladies and gentlemen. If it's not interesting, then, I mean, how am I supposed to sit there posting and you talk about it? Like the other thing that's interesting now is it seems that, what? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the bird flu's coming around. Everybody's got to mask up again, 6 feet of distancing, blah, 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 into the world. But what I am interested in, shout out to who we have. Upstream is joining us too. But it is, like I said, the last show of the year. And being the last show of the year, I want to talk about a few action figures and toys that we were able to acquire along the way. Now, there were quite a few. And like I said, you'll hear people talk about their top 10, their top 5. And here's the facts. If they have G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, and He-Man in their top 10, then their views about action figure toys are completely irrelevant. No, it's true. It's true. I know that seems like a harsh dig, but those are the facts. If you have a top 10 list, and you're a toy YouTuber, toy tuber, even if it's your own top 10 list. If your top 10 list has G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, or He-Man in it, then you need to rethink your creativity in life. No, it's true. It's true. Don't get mad at the messenger. And I know people will sit there and say, oh, well, that's rough. Listen, the reason why I'm saying this is because you got the same rehashed garbage for G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, and He-Man for the last 40 years. Last 40 years, you got the same garbage. And people want to sit there and say, oh, well, hey, this is great. Look at what I have in my top 10. I have 3 G.I. Joes, 2 Transformers, 3 He-Man figures, and a partridge in a pear tree. So, well, Orko is the only difference. You know, Orko was actually made by Filmation. It wasn't one of those Mattel creations. So Orko is the real heart of Motu, if you will. Which brings us to our very first toy of the top 3 toys. That is Orko. It is Orko by Mondo. And then I haven't picked up any Mondo figures. They're way too expensive. They're way too expensive. But Orko, we did pick up Orko. We had it for a few months, I believe. And but we waited until Christmas. We waited until Christmas. Santa brought it early. We had to just sit there under the tree. Yeah, we had it for a few months, but yes, the Mondo Orko makes the top 3. Makes the top 3. And I think that if you have a chance to get the Orko is great. I can't speak to the rest of the Mondo stuff. It's way too expensive. And for that price, I see too many QC issues to want to ever invest. My buddy Mark Cosplay did invest in them. Follow him in Mark Cosplay. Anime figure statue collector joining in as well. Shout out to everyone. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Lone Dragon here too. Dead Man is in. Happy Splatter Day, Dead Man. We are all Toy Mercs. Make sure you're following Toy Mercs. And if you're taking pictures of your action figures and toys, make sure you tag and collaborate with Toy Mercs, and they'll be good. You know, also, if you do black and white photography images, you should collaborate with Dead Man as well. Dead Man does the whole black and white photography, does collaborations. There's collaborations all over the place. So, but much love, much love. Happy Splatter Day to all. But yeah, so the figure number 3 of the top 3 is the Mondo Orko. Mondo Orko is that one. So now here we go. So this one's really interesting. I have it right here. Number 2. The number 2 toy of 2024, according to me, listen, of any of the toy people that you listen to, I should be the one. You know, I'm a real puppet here. You know, I'm not some 40-year-old, guy saying, hey, listen, look what I found over in Walmart. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm trying to give you educated toy information, action figure and toy information. So that's why number 2 is very high class, and once again, probably one that most people would not have noticed because, like I said, they're stuck in G.I. Joe, Transformer, Ninja Turtle, and He-Man. But that is Figma's Mona Lisa. Yeah, Figma's Mona Lisa. And it's really great because the Mona Lisa will come out of the frame. She actually has a bottom portion, so she actually has legs. She can hold her own frame. And, smile. And she has gang signs. Yeah, she's like throwing up deuces and stuff. Like, yo, what's up? I'm Mona Lisa. So, but that's it. A couple of shout outs here. Real quick, William Powell's Kalex as well. But yeah, the Figma, the Figma Mona Lisa. If you have a chance to pick that up, it is absolutely incredible. The Figma figures over the last couple of years have been some of our favorite figures. Well, because they're based off of historical figures, historical things such as, what do we have? The Moai. We had the Moai. Last year we had King Tut. Was it King Tut last year? Or was it the year before? The year before was King Tut. Last year was the Dogu. Was the Dogu? Yes, from Ancient Aliens. There's a couple of other ones that they've come out with that are out there. The Vitruvian Man, That's another one. The Iron Maiden. I want to get the Iron Maiden. The Iron Maiden looks good. Shout out Skydro. Make sure that you use the code Skydro, SKYDRO, at extremesets.com. Your photographs may not look as good as Skydro Walker, but you could save 10% while doing it. That's Skydro, SKYDRO at extremesets.com. White Vegeta joined in, saying that his favorite toy of 2024 is the Robo Skull. So the Robo Skull was a very big one on a lot of people's list. The Robo Skull took about 3 years or so to finally get it delivered. But the Robo Skull, I'm not into the whole Robo Skull, anything skull related. Listen, I'm not, not a bunch of skull. I'm not a skull fan. Not a skull fan, skull and death. But, no, I still play Mortal Kombat. That's different. Oh, it's different. It is different. What do you mean it's not different? It is different. Okay, so what do we have? So we have number 1 and number 2. Let's see. Do we have the ability to get this? Let's see. I think we got it. All right. So the number 1 toy of 2024. Now the reason why this is number 1 toy of 2024. First, let me say that Mary Murr says that the number 1 toy for her, the designer fashion Barbies, is the one that's in the pink outfit, right? The pink outfit ones. So Mary Murr has her 2 cents in. She says that it's the designer Barbies. So how about? She said, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it right now. I'm talking about it right now. Yeah. Well, the designer Barbie, your number 1 is now. There's been a couple of Barbies that have come out. This is radio. Chatting back and forth for a second with Mary Murr. But she. So it's the pink one, right? The fancy pink one. Well, there's a bunch of fancy pink ones. There's a bunch of designer ones. Oh my gosh. So, oh well, thanks. I appreciate that. I love you too. Love you too. Anyways, so we do have the designer Barbie. Of course, from Mary Murr. She said that's her. I guess the one in the pink outfit. Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 of them. What else do we have? Oh yeah, so the number 1 figure. My number 1 figure of 2024 now was told that these sold out everywhere. Sold out everywhere. People couldn't find them. They couldn't find them at all, and you had to go online to end up getting them. What it is well, the last couple of years we've done this too. Most people, like I said, they'll have GI Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, He-Man, and my whole idea is that when we used to do top 10 lists, we used to do it with class and style. And what I mean by that is that any figure in the top 10, you could only use one. You could only use one toy from a toy company. So if you picked a Hasbro toy, it could only be a G.I. Joe or a Star Wars figure. You could have a Star Wars figure and a G.I. Joe because they're both made by Hasbro, right? So imagine picking out 10 different toys from 10 different manufacturers, no repeats. That's how we used to do things. Then eventually I just got tired of all of it. And I said, hey, you know what? We're just going to do the top 3. We went from top 5 to then top 3. Because nobody wants to hear a top 10 list. Nobody cares about your top 10 list. Because your same top 10 list is the same top 10 list that everybody has in the top 10 list. And it's terrible, terrible toys for a top 10 list. Oh, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, and Ninja Turtles. Wow. I got 3 of them, 3 of each. Yeah, that's my whole list right there. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so here we go. Number 1. Number 1 toy of 2024 is, drum roll. Ding! Here it is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Linus waiting for his blanket. That's right. Linus waiting for his blanket in the washing machine. Is it in the washing machine or is it in the dryer? I'm not really sure. But this is the one. People want to sit there and say, hey, well, what is the top toy of 2024? It is Linus waiting for his blanket. Why is he waiting for his blanket? Well, because the blanket is the foundation of imagination and toys. Why do you think Lord Blanket is so upset? Lord Blanket is sitting around in the late 70s and all of a sudden out of nowhere, All of a sudden, you know, these action figures toys start piling up. Early 80s, they keep piling up, piling up, piling up. Poor Blanket's just sitting there wondering, like, hey, what the heck's going on, right? Am I right? I'm right, right? Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, what was the blanket? What, you know, it was the first thing, it was the last thing you grabbed, at night to comfort you. Pull the blanket over you, keep you warm during the night. What did you do? What did you do? You woke up in the morning and you threw the blanket right in the corner and you started playing with action figures and toys. It's the reason why Lord Blanket was upset. The reason why he had to go and steal the power of the golden giraffe. Right? All these toys coming from the kingdoms of the golden giraffe. Absolutely ridiculous. The blanket. Think about the blanket, what the blanket means and what the blanket represents. It can be a cape, turn you into a superhero. It can be a cloak used as a wizard. You just throw it in the corner and throw your toys on top of it, and it becomes a play set. The blanket, ladies and gentlemen, the blanket. The reason why the number one toy of 2024 is Linus. It's Linus waiting for his blanket. And the whole time, what you need to think about is what's really going on here. What's really being taught to you with Linus waiting for his blanket? I'll tell you what is being taught to you. Patience. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This toy right here represents more than just a toy, more than just an ornament, more than just a keepsake. It represents patience. And even in our darkest hour, patience will allow us to get through even the hardest times and get our blanket back as we wait for it, just like Linus. As it goes round and round and round in the drama. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the top three figures, my top three figures of 2025. And I have a couple of cartoon jams that I'm going to play here in honor of some of those. And I know I've been knocking them all morning long, but that's okay. It's okay. We're still going to rock and roll. We're going to rock and roll with it. And we'll be back here in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, for the finale. We do have mixtapes coming on at around noonish. Mixtapes is going to be here. But I'll be back in just a few moments. Make sure you're following us all over social media. I'll be back for just one more segment here on the Sam Cams. At Sam NewsMan on Instagram, at Sam NewsMan on Facebook, at Sam NewsMan on YouTube, and at Sam NewsMan on X, at Sam NewsMan all over social media. What is it? Frederick, I see that you've joined in as well. Lynn Inikil? I can't even read it. Anyways, Sergeant Schultz, I see that you joined in too as well. Like I said, this is a chat that we have going on. Make sure everybody's chatting along and hanging out with us. At Sam NewsMan, all over social media is where you're going to find us here, setting the standard, raising the bar. Download the Live 365 app, search WDCE. You can listen to the cartoon songs that I'll be playing here on the radio in just a few moments. And, oh yeah, go to WDCE.org or WDCE.net. You can listen to those cartoon themes there as well. Setting the standard and raising the bar here on the only award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning. Hosted by me, a real award-winning media puppet. Broadcasting live from the soggy, rainy, wet campus here at the University of Richmond, you're listening to WDCE 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam NewsMan. And this is Saturday morning.